I believe that we and our world is in a state of arrested development. I believe freedom and fulfillment come from pursuing our greatest potential. I believe we have the capacity to be our own heroes. We are on the cusp of significant change. Our models of capitalism, climate, and community are failing us. To navigate the road ahead, we need new heroes, and we need them now. Who will take up this call to arms? Who can we trust to see it through? The answer is any of us. Because at every stage of life, we have a chance to reach further, to be more valuable and feel good about ourselves, to be the hero we always needed. And of course, we don't have to do this, and many don't. It's much more comfortable to continue being who we were rather than learn and risk new behavior. And that's why we resist change. And as a result, we become less valuable to our peers, our practices, our businesses, ourselves. I call it arrested development. Familial, societal, and tribal feedback reinforce who we have been rather than who we could be. For those of us who choose to be heroes, however, the path is clear. We must fight the dictators, the despots, and the dummies who strive to keep us complacent and claim the freedom and fulfillment we know in our hearts we deserve. To claim our freedom, we must resist the three evils of our time: dictators, despots, and dummies. Dictators are the familial and societal norms and expectations that tell us how to live, what to do, and where to do it. The despots are the businesses and political leaders who count on us as consumers and followers rather than individuals and constituents. The dummies are those who allow themselves to be distracted by the first two. Resisting these three evils is the surest way to cut through the crap and make room for our real work in the world, for what we are meant to do, what makes us truly happy. Now, before I go further, let me just say that happiness is not a goal. Happiness is a choice that we make in the moment. Now, of course, it's a good thing, but it's meant to come and go. The real goal is fulfillment, which comes from having a sense of purpose and place and the freedom to choose when, where, and how we engage with it. Okay, so we're in this for freedom and fulfillment, to feel good about ourselves and what we do or don't do in the world. The first step is to make room. To resist dictators, remind yourself you always have a choice. Don't accept the premise that the choice has been made for you. Take a step back and consider how you feel about it. Does it support your own beliefs and values? Will it take you towards your goals or away from them? And if and when you do say yes, make sure it's a conscious choice and not an obligation. To resist the despots, figure out the thing that you want most and give it away. Despots don't have any power over you when you give without the expectation of return. Now, the really great thing about doing this is not only does it throw off the despots, but giving freely actually facilitates your ability to receive. Now, the best example of this is love. To give love, we have to open our hearts. And when we do open our hearts, we make room for the people and the things that we love the most, to feel them as part of ourselves. Because it's the act of giving love that allows us to truly feel it. As they say, love isn't love until you give it away. So get into the habit of giving, offering support, creating things for people. All forms of giving are a way to express and therefore feel the love that we have to share. That's why great ballads are written, statues made, paintings painted. All of these are signs and symbols of love and therefore a way that we get to feel it ourselves. Now, the opposite of this expression of love is holding on to it. Not giving, but rather hoarding and keeping it to ourselves. And, of course, this has the opposite effect. Rather than opening our hearts and letting in the love that we want so badly, we constrict and we keep it out, and it leaves us feeling empty and unfulfilled. Now, unfortunately, this has become the norm in our society. The statistics are astounding. Only 1 in 3 say they're happy with their lives. 70% are unhappy with their work. 1 in 10 are on antidepressants. As a society, we are in really bad shape. And that's because somewhere along the way, we stopped giving love away and started filling our space with cheap, temporary substitutes. Now we have to reverse this scenario. It's time to give your love away. To resist the dummies, don't engage in the chatter. It's harder than it sounds, but you can do it. Skip the provocative pictures and stories, stay out of the ridiculous rants, and ignore political posturing. Save your 2 cents for real conversations with people who are willing to take the time to communicate with you directly. Otherwise, all you're doing is adding to the noise. Okay, heroes, now that we have some freedom, it's time to sort out fulfillment. Fulfillment comes from 2 places: letting in the love, as we just talked about, and engaging your superpower. Now, by that, I mean your purpose and place in the world. how you engage, how you serve, the thing you are meant to do, the thing you can't help but do. Now, whatever your personal passion, interest, or angle, the way we engage our superpower is relative to and arrested by where we are in life. Now, I map out our hero's journey in 4 phases. Phase 1 is where we define ourselves as an individual, i.e. not our parents. This is where you try on the dress, find your tribe, develop the self-worth to trust your own decisions. And where we become arrested is when we depend on tribal and peer validation. In phase 2, we create our professional and societal identity. This is where you define what you do, establish your practice, understand your personal value. We're arrested in phase 2 when we believe that we have to follow someone else's rules to be happy. Phase 3 is about building your world, your empire, your family. Here we define what we are invested in. We define our priorities and we commit to them. We become arrested in phase 3 when we create or we allow dependency. Phase 4 is all about legacy, becoming the mentor, giving freely, letting go. Arrested development in phase 4 happens when we try to maintain control. As a hero, it is your responsibility to claim your freedom by resisting the dictators, the despots, and the dummies, and use your superpower to fulfill your work in the world. I believe we have the capacity to be our own heroes. It's not easy. Arrested development is all around us, but there are many of us who believe and will support you. Organizations like Lex bring like-minded leaders, thinkers, and organizers together to make things happen. So join us and be part of the solution. Believe me, the world needs you.